Hello, everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. Bayern beat Borussia Mönchengladbach 3-0 away from home in a game that could have been a completely different story. Oh my gosh. Forget about parking the bus. Those motherfuckers parked the freaking stadium in front of that goal. They parked a plane. Jeez, we couldn't open their box up if they were wearing Victoria's Secret lingerie. Yeah, at about the 19th minute, in that game, one of their players got a red card, a deserved red card. This guy's tackle was like freaking A on Luis Diaz, and their fans were booing him. I was like, bro, he's the one that almost got injured. Why are you booing Luis Diaz? He didn't flop. your player literally went studs up to try to destroy that man, and you went a man down, 10 men. But I'll be honest, they started playing better with 10 men. I thought the game was going to be one of those games where the headline would be about how 10 men drew against Bayern, and it was this triumphant thing about how Bayern's winning streak, finally got ended by 10 men. You know, it's funny, they started playing better. But, like Bayern have been doing this season, through adversity, we persisted and won the game. We found a way. Kane didn't score. He didn't have to score for us to do anything. We just found a way. We had grit. We had determination, ferocious attacking intent, and we finally opened them up in the second half. The first half was just forgettable. It was mostly forgettable. I gotta be honest. Games like this give me a new kind of hope for this team in that Champions League. Because if we're being honest, as Bayern fans, the Champions League is the most important trophy for us. We win the Bundesliga a lot. It's not as special. I'd rather win the Pokal, honestly, because we haven't won that in a long time. So, for us, like, watching us win Bundesliga games is not as goosebumpy as watching us win the Champions League. And there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that. I'm not saying it's easy to win the Bundesliga. It's not a farmers league like these Prem fans think, Premtards, but it's just we're just a monster in the league. Like even when we had one of our worst seasons under Niko Kovac, we still won the league. Dortmund bottled it. They were winning it, then they bottled it. Leverkusen had to have a miraculous season to stop us, and we had Tuchel in charge. So you just have to contextualize these things. Like it's very hard to beat Bayern in the Bundesliga. So us winning is not a huge surprise, but games like this are games we'd usually draw or even lose. I mean, Gladbach, if they score that penalty, they could do something in the last minute of the game and it's 2-2, right? If they keep the score at 1-0, they could go for it in the last 10 minutes. You never know with these kind of games, but Bayern showed that yeah, we have a little bit, even more grit than people thought. Like, we won the ball quick. We were running like we were broke. These players were playing like their salaries depended on this win. And I'm impressed by that. Vincent Kompany is doing an amazing job keeping these players humble and getting them to work hard even in games where you'd think they have everything under control. So, yeah, I mean, first minute of the game, we should have scored. Luis Diaz had a huge chance he should have put away, and he didn't. And that was okay. And then we missed a few more chances. By the way, Lennart Karl. Okay, let's talk about Lennart Karl. Oh, my Carlinho, man. Oh, my gosh. The step-overs this man was doing. Yogo Bonito was at the Allianz Arena. Oh, come on, baby. He's Brazilian. Carlinho. My gosh, the unnecessary stepovers. That's my kind of baller. What I said about Karl I think 3 games ago was every time he came on or played, he was playing with a lot of confidence, but none of the ability required. And it's like in the last 2 games, he has decided deliberately to just take his chances when they come, to just do it, to just use his ability. We saw it in preseason. We didn't see it in the beginning of the season when he got a few chances. And now we're seeing it. And that's awesome. He's growing as the weeks go by. And that goal was special. If the kid plays like this every game, I mean, come on, that's a world-beating player right there. He's world class. Now, let's talk about Nicholas Jackson, because I think Lennart Karl just cemented himself above him in the pecking order. Jackson sucks. Okay, Nicholas Jackson is not only playing without confidence, he's playing with no ability. It's one thing to be, lacking a little confidence in yourself. It's another thing to have no ability, because that makes you a liability. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm feeling like little baby Central C. Like these rhymes are just working. Wow. Yeah. It's one thing to have no ability and confidence, but come on, man. You, you got to have one. He showed nothing the guy's just missing chances. He did something nice, good hold up play, good link up play to pass the ball off to Luis Diaz for that first chance that he missed. But that's okay, that was a great move from him. But apart from that, I don't remember him in this game, which makes me think Lennart Karl should start every game. This Kane at attacking midfield thing is not. We shouldn't be trying to do it against Gladbach. We don't need Kane dropping in the 6 against Gladbach. I think company needs to just correct that, because Kane is a striker above all else. We should play Lennart Karl or whoever else, or Elise in that position, in that attacking midfield position, and keep Kane at striker, because we need him to freaking charge for that Ballon d'Or. He needs to score twice a game. And this was another game where I thought he should not have been trying to do all this drop-in nonsense. I like it. Like, it's cool aesthetically for him to just do all that, create these chances. He created a few opportunities. But I'd rather have Kane, scoring. Because, when the chance fell to him, he wasn't warm in the box. He wasn't warm. It was like his first shot of the game, and it was a pretty big chance, and he kind of just scuffed it. But anyways, let's get into these player ratings. I finally found out why my ratings were messed up, because I told Grok when Grok was coding this to remember whatever ratings I did. So even if I'd update the lineups, it would just remember the ratings from the previous lineups. And I think that's probably why it kept messing up the lineups themselves, because it kept putting the same players in because of the whole storage issue. Anyways, Orbig played today. I thought him keeping a clean sheet was great. He totally got sent for that penalty. Oh my gosh. By the way, was that a penalty? I thought it was. We'll talk about that penalty more when we get to Bischoff in a second. But Orbig, I thought, you know what? His distribution was good. Pablo Escobar distribution. He was just getting that ball to his teammates. Good passing. I'll give him a 7 out of 10 because he kept the clean sheet, but he didn't have to do anything for it, to be fair. So we'll just give him a 7 because, he didn't do anything wrong, so why should I give him just an average 6? Especially if I believe he passed well. I wouldn't give Neuer 7 in a game like this, because I expect him to pass and do all the crazy nonsense. By the way, why isn't Neuer playing? Why? Oh, it's because Orbig is going to play in the middle of the week, so I think company just wanted to give Orbig a chance, which is fine, and Neuer's 50 years old, so... I say that as a joke, but he's actually closer to being 50 than he is to being 29. Like, the guy is getting up there in age. So, Sacha Bowie, oh my gosh, Neuer's going to be 50 soon. Oh my gosh. All right, Sacha Bowie, I thought this was one of his better games, but again, he doesn't really show me anything. He's just kind of a basic footballer, man. I was kind of hoping for a Nuno Mendes at right back kind of player, someone really explosive. Sacha Bowie, his tenure at Bayern has been marked with a lot of injuries. I don't really see him doing anything crazy and out of this world. So for that reason, let me just downgrade this to a 6, because I think a 7 is when you really participate and show out. 6 is still a good rating. It means you're above average. It means you didn't lose or do anything bizarre. Kim, same 6. Yeah, Kim gets a 6 from me. I thought he was actually at left center back. I don't know why. Yeah, okay, whatever. Same thing. Yeah, I don't really like him, man, in this team. Upamecano, give Upa a 7. No, we're gonna. I thought there were a few. No, let me give Upa a 6. Our defense didn't have to do much today. Tom Bischoff, I'm not sure why company won't just like tell Goretzka to play center back from the start, right? And then get someone else at left back. We have Guerrero. I don't know. I just thought Bischoff should not have been playing left back. It's not like he did anything wrong. I mean, he did concede a penalty, but to me, that's not that. I don't see how that's a penalty. I'm sorry. Let's talk about this because I'm seeing this trend a lot. Why is it that when two players are in the box fighting, just and it's a corner or something, and the ball is already in a specific area, yet players that were not even in play for that ball get in an entanglement and it's a penalty. I don't get it. Like the ball was never coming to that guy. So how is it a penalty? I get it's a foul like in the box, but they got to shift like the penalty for that. They got to change they should do like MLS penalties or something. Give the goalkeeper a chance. You know what? That'd be great. Like fouls that, don't prevent goal scoring chances should be MLS penalties where it's a 1v1 and whoever the attacker, I think that would change the game a little bit. It would give the goalkeeper a little bit of an upper hand, or not an upper hand, but give the goalkeeper a chance to save it. I'm glad he missed because it wasn't a penalty to me. I get why they would say that's a foul in the box because, Bischoff still had an infringement on a player regardless of whether he was going to get the ball in that region. But because he wasn't going to get the ball there, I think it should be a different punishment than an actual penalty. That's just my take on it. So I'm not going to fault Bischoff for that. I'm going to give him a 6. I don't think he deserved anything higher or lower. I thought he was just like our defenders. All our defenders just didn't spend too much time doing anything else because we were attacking all game. Goretzka, he made our game so much slower and less fluid. There were so many times where he could have passed the ball like, half a second faster. But because he lacks the technical ability, he just would pass always later. I didn't like his performance today. He moved to right center back, and, I'll give him a 6 because he performed like a center back when he moved back. He performed like how Upamecano was performing. Kimmich, give Kimmich an 8. I thought the goal was sharp. That's like his first goal in a while, right? So, no, it was a good goal. It was one of those games where we didn't need our midfield for anything because we were just so dominant. All we needed them to do was circulate the ball and let the attackers kind of try to create openings. Elise, I think this is one of Elise's like worst performances, even though he got an assist. Here's the thing that's going on with Elise, and I think you guys notice it too. It's like he's deliberately not trying to dribble and take players on. I think he's tired. That would be my only explanation. I think company needs to kind of give this kid a rest because Elise is playing every game and he's playing for 90 minutes plus. Like, when is he going to get a rest? He better not play in that DFB Pokal game. Yeah, we have PSG coming up. We need our players to be sharp. Sometimes players need sharpness by playing minutes, but sometimes they need sharpness by not playing, too many minutes. We got to keep Elise fresh and sharp. So I would say company needs to rest him. Like, that needs to happen. Also, Elise is not like, resistant to injuries as much as people think. Like, he hasn't gotten injured since we signed him, but the guy did get injured a lot at Crystal Palace. We've gotten lucky with him so far. So I'm not saying this to call it upon us for him to get injured, but he needs to definitely rest because if he plays too much, that's too much muscle overload. We might live to regret it. Kane, I think Kane actually again, similar to Olise, just not a good game. Like, it's funny, these players are so good. When I say they didn't have a good game, I mean they didn't score twice and 4 assists. Like, that's what I mean. But it's not like as a striker that performance was like bad from Kane. It was just all right, and that's all it was. Luis Diaz, similar, 5. He missed a big chance in the beginning. What I'm liking about Diaz is his pressing, his energy. That's very good. I think he's bringing that to Bayern. And, it was a lot of energy. He pressed, and I think that created one of our goals, right? Where we were pressing high, and then Olise got it and passed it to Guerrero, I think, if I remember correctly. But either way, I think Luis Diaz adds energy. He adds that. But overall performance, it was a 5 out of 10. Our attackers just were not clinical when they had to be, and that was a problem. Okay, we're going to give Nicholas Jackson a 2. It's another game where he gets a start that he does not deserve, and he just does nothing with it. It's kind of a sad phenomenon, actually. It's like something's just keeping this guy from reaching that next level. Guys, why does this AI keep putting this Matteo Cancellieri guy in here? He's not a Bayern player. It's not a real guy. It's not a player we have. Why does it keep thinking this is a Bayern player? Anyways, whatever. Gnabry came on. I thought he made a huge difference for the minutes he played. Added a lot more energy to the game, and he was way better than whatever anyone else is doing in that attack today in terms of like creating cute little chances, right? He made Kimmich. It's so crazy. Look at the team ratings. Kimmich would be man of the match. That's bizarre. Now, I would probably give man of the match to Lennart Karl, to be honest with you. Or Guerrero, because I thought Guerrero came on and just took the show. Stanisic also came on. I would give him a standard 6. I don't think he put a foot wrong for the however many minutes he played. Lennart Karl gets a 9 out of 10. Those are all our subs. I thought we had more subs in this. Didn't we have like 4 subs or 5? There should be. Yeah, where is Guerrero? Yeah, and where's someone else came on though, right? Stanisic. Yeah, Stanisic, Gnabry, Lennart Karl. Pavlovic didn't come on if I remember correctly. Someone else came on. I don't know. We'll just leave it at that. Lennart Karl gets a 9 out of 10. I thought again the strike was crazy. This kid's ball placement, his shot placement is very, very good. I really, really liked how he took that shot. It was like, oh, sorry, I'm yawning. Oh my gosh, I'm yawning on video. It was Messi-esque, where he just outside the box placed it perfectly in that corner. The goalkeeper was rooted, because you don't expect that touch and then to get it out of his feet for the shot so quickly. So that's why the goalkeeper had no clue what he was like. Yeah, it was just one of those things. Anyways, coach, I thought company substitutions changed the game. We'll give him a straight 7. I thought he coached the game very well. The game should have been won in the first half, but the players were messing about. Bayern fans, 9. I thought the flares at the beginning of the match. Actually, I hate flares. We'll give them an 8. They did well. They kept the team going throughout all the Gladbach defensive actions. But yeah, those are player ratings, or my player ratings. Let me know what I got wrong. Man of the match is going to be Lennart Karl for me. Thought he took his chance well, and it wasn't a chance. He created it. That's the difference between an elite level talent and a normal player. Elite level talents create their own chances, and they make themselves, indispensable for the manager to pick. So, yeah, Lennart Karl did an excellent job with that chance that he created for himself. But yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. Fun game, fun. Let me see. Who do we play in the Pokal? The timeline between the games is so long. I forget we play the Pokal sometimes. Yeah, the Pokal. Yeah, second. Oh my gosh, we're playing Cologne. That could easily be a loss, man. Aren't Cologne pretty good this season? I'm gonna check, and they're like relegated. Yeah, no, they're 8th. They're playing right now, actually, Dortmund. So we get a little more rest than them. There's no excuse. Yeah, they're 8th in the league. Let's see, what's their record? Well, 3 wins, 3 draws, two losses. It's one of those games, if we're not careful, I mean, they have some pretty dangerous players. Said Al-Mala, like, they have players that can make a difference in a game like that. So we got to be careful. Marius Boltar, another player that's pretty much in form. Ragnar H. Don't know who that is, but I'm just looking at the names. Yeah, they're 8th in the league, so, they're what, like 3 points off 3rd? By the way, did you guys look at that Leipzig game? My gosh. Leipzig have the same record as Arsenal, but Bayern are ahead because we've won every game. Like, Leipzig are doing pretty well. It's crazy what the difference between 2nd and 4th is. It's like 4 points already. This league is so not competitive. And bro, yeah, I took a look at the Leipzig game, basically the highlights. I was scrolling through the game so much, I might as well just watch the highlights. Yeah, it was a game with... It's funny because I thought Augsburg did pretty well. Like, they were doing pretty well up until they conceded that first goal from Diomande. And then it was just like up from there from Leipzig. Leipzig didn't even have that much possession. They just kind of, they hit him on the break and they were clinical. And that Romulo guy, his hold-up play, I thought he was going to be like a Lukaku, like with poor hold-up play. He's certainly proven me wrong. Anyways, let's not keep you guys here for too long. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia, send Mia, and peace. I'll see you on... Well, we might obviously make a video tomorrow or Monday. But otherwise, I think I'm going to see you on Wednesday when we play in the DFB Pokal. Let's look at the... So after the Pokal, who's next? Okay, Leverkusen. Oh my gosh, then PSG. 2 very interesting games because Leverkusen could make... They could squeeze a draw out of us. So, our winning streak is in danger in the next 2 games or 3 games. Yeah, we have 3 very tough games coming up. So, in terms of just like the opponents and how uncomfortable they could be. Anyways, thank you ever so much for watching. Mia, send Mia, and peace.